You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. Happy Friday. Come on in. Get yourself into a big weekend here, huh? It's going to be awesome. Good to have you. Today, I was pondering how many times I've heard this sentence. If I knew I would live this long, I would have cared for myself better, and I would have saved more money. I've heard it dozens of times over the years. I may have said it myself as I've gotten older going, what was I thinking? But you know what, it's actually pretty good. Much better than it was 200 years ago. And today we're going to talk about the difference and how to appreciate what you have today. It is the Daily Boost from MotivationToMove.com, the positive boost you need every single day. Life gets in the way. It does. But after life gets in the way, like all the holidays, then life begins when you move. We can get going again. And of course, it's that time of the year when we all set goals and start running really fast and hot and heavy and have a good time. I hope you have great plans coming into next year. Hope you have something big you're going for, some big-ass goal you've decided to go after, something that's so big you almost don't believe you can do it. I hope you have that. I know I do. I actually got some kind of percolating in the background, been working on for a lot of months here, and you're going to hear about it here in a few weeks, probably by the end of January. Percolating, doing it, just kind of digging in, a huge change coming, plus the countdown to 5,000 episodes begins on a Monday. 263 episodes to go of the Daily Boost podcast before I reach my goal of 5,000, the goal I set, about 18 years ago. Here we come, getting very close to it now. What's going to happen after 5,000 episodes? Well, I'm not going to tell you today. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. That's none of your business right now. None of your beeswax, as my kids would say. Or I used to say as a kid. But I'll tell you soon. It's going to be awesome. My name is Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer here at MotivationToMove.com. On Friday, we always ask a very simple question. I don't know about you, but emotions just mess with you, right? I mean, as you're going through your day, are you logically thinking everything through the day, or are some things getting under your skin in a bad way and a good way? My guess is a little bit of both, but for the most part, emotions are the rule. So the way I determine to fix this is whenever somebody gets under my skin or something gets under my skin, whether I'm not happy one day, I just kind of go, okay, well, how do I want to feel? That's the question. How do I want to feel? And you should ask that today. How do I want to feel? And you're going to choose a good answer. And once you do that, once you decide how you want to feel, well, it becomes very easy to go create that. In fact, I would I would debate with you if you want to, that just asking the question will set you down the path of feeling exactly the way you want to. There's a lot of woo-woo stuff in there that makes that happen. We're not going to talk about that. But ask yourself that question. How do I want to feel? Let's talk about modern times. The day and age we live in today. It's hard to keep up with, isn't it? It's just crazy. So much is going on. All the news and AI and all that stuff is happening right now. But life is crazy. You look back in your lifetime, and I don't care how old you are, unless you're zoomy, and this is just what you've always known. Everybody else has gone through a lot. I used to think of my mother-in-law a long time ago. Her name was Ina. I remember her, and she was born in the 20s. And I was thinking, man, she went through so much when she was born in the 20s through her whole life. AM and FM radio and TV. That was a big deal. It had 3 TV channels, CB radios. I went through all that stuff. I thought, man, what a life she's had. Look at the change she's experienced. And here I am now going, she had nothing. Had nothing. But I think it's probably the case for everybody, isn't it? Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what time you've lived in. If you're around for more than a few decades, it's a big change. But like I said earlier in the program today, I don't know how many times I've heard people say, if I knew how long I was going to live, I would have taken better care of myself and saved much more money. And maybe that's you today. But these modern times we're in today, they're pretty exciting. And when it comes to living a long life, a lot of folks will think, hey, man, it's too short or it's too long. I hear both on a weekly basis. People say, Scott, life's just too short. People say, Scott, I've got my act together. Life is long. It's really slow. It's both. But if you do things correctly, I think it is. I think it is both. I think it's long enough. That's a very stoic way of thinking. We just need to live it correctly and do what's good for us and do the right stuff. But 200 years ago, have you ever thought about this? That today we have this crazy little thing that we have the privilege of thinking, well, is life too short or is life too long? What am I going to do? Will I be around long enough to do it? Do I even want to do it? Maybe I just want to lay on the beach and do nothing. 200 years ago, you did not have that option. You did not have that luxury. That's a modern privilege. If you lived 200 years ago or longer ago, you certainly lived at a slower pace, a harder pace. And time is relative. Your perception was probably much slower back then as well. You just didn't know what you didn't know. It's not a bad thing, is it? Everything was slower. If I compared it to today, it'd be like going up into the mountains, maybe for a 2-week vacation, off the grid, with no phone, or at least a phone that doesn't work. Better yet, you didn't have a phone. Couldn't even look at it offline. Just something called a book on your shelf. That's all you had, maybe. Off the grid. My good. How would you tolerate that? Sounds good, doesn't it? I don't know. That's what life used to be like for everybody. Every single day. Not anymore. Living to the ripe old age of 40, 200 years ago, was like you being 100 today. Amazingly, a lot of people are growing to be 100 today. If something didn't take you out sooner, by the way back then. Today, we don't have that problem as much as they used to have. See, back when we had all this open land and cheap real estate prices and gold everywhere people were discovering, everybody died younger than they did today. They didn't have the luxury of being older and having decade after decade after decade of resetting and going for the dreams they missed a long time ago. Actually had the chance to give it another shot, right? 200 years ago, an exotic disease like a toothache might take you out. So it's some simple goals. I don't know what your goals are today. I love big-ass goals that are so big that I don't even know what I'm going to do with my goals. Like, whoa, I can't believe I'm going to do that. That's such a big goal. But 200 years ago, people lived a much simpler life. How simple? Well, if you lived 200 years ago, these are your goals. Be born and survive childhood. Pretty basic goal. Not sure you set that goal, but that was the goal. Buy a horse. Get married. Buy another horse. Build your first house on your 40-year-old or 35-year-old grandparents' property. Then you got to get your kids raised up, get them through 5th grade so they can graduate and help you plow the field. And if you were a planter, you would plant a tree on the hill as soon as you could, because it needed to get big enough for your kids to bury you when that toothache took you out at 38 years old. It is a privilege to be where you are today. No matter what happens, no matter how crazy things get, we have an election year coming up. The politicians are going to do what politicians do. It's going to get crazy. You can count on that. But then again, it always has. This world has always been a crazy place. It's never going to get any better. Why is it? It's as good as it can be. It's fantastic. It's filled with humans. And as long as you fill a place with humans, stuff's going to happen. How many times have you been to a good party and it's wonderful until suddenly Alcohol got flowing a little bit too much, and those humans there got a little carried away, and suddenly it was a bad place. If you're around today, you have choices that other people couldn't even dream of having. So why not, as you get into the new year, think about that? And what will you do with the privilege you have of living in the times we live in? Best time ever, so far. Yeah, it's easy to make fun of the old days, but one thing rings true. If you live in the past, wondering what you would be doing next, you didn't have to wonder. You just got out of bed and did it. You had no options. Now you have options. So as you have the option, the question is, what are you going to do with it? So that's your question to ponder, and I know you already are as you go into the weekend getting ready for New Year's Eve, and you'll be setting your goals and everything like that. The question is, okay, I've got all this freedom. I'm living here today. I live in the best time that has ever been. What am I going to do with it? That's a big question. I doubt you'll get it done by the weekend, but you can at least start, right? Have a great weekend. By the way, get to perfectweekplanner.com. Download my planner. It'll be very helpful to you when you start planning next year. If you want to take control of your time and your life, it'll help you.